Hey, welcome back to another Menace Media vlog. And in this vlog we've got something really exciting going on. We're actually going to be moving office. So if you've seen any of our videos before, especially our adverts, you'll recognise this room as our office. Now, we're not actually going to be moving out of this room. What we've done is we've rented another room within the building that we're in, which was originally our first ever office. So it's quite cool. We're taking the old office back and we've still got this office.
At this point, we've basically taken the old room back as we left it, so there were a few holes in the walls that we needed to fill and sand down, and then we put a fresh coat of paint on it as well.
And essentially what we're trying to do is expand our space, give ourselves more room, because this room is a little bit tight, but also it separates the purposes of each room. So anyway, I'm going to take you on this journey with me. I've got a few helping hands along the way. I hope you enjoyed the video, and let's get to it.
We began the booth teardown process, which meant taking apart all of the sound panels. We wanted to keep them in as best condition as possible so that we could reuse them in the new booth.
So we're getting there now. Booth has got its floor and walls sorted, and then at the back goes our star drape, which we need like a curtain pole to go across the top for.
Fun fact about the booth is it's actually built within a lift. So there's still a lift shaft there, and if you knock the ceiling out above it, you just see open space. Obviously it's not been in use for about 10 years now, and this is quite an interesting way of using the space.
Paint's all dry, half of the kit is here. We just need the desk and a computer, and then this room is going to be most of the way there. We've got to put lots of acoustic panels, these ones on the walls, and we've also got photography backdrops as well for those jobs. Oh yeah, and some really cool lighting, including a big like M logo here and various other bits and bobs. So loads to do. We've made some good progress. The other booth is pretty much stripped, and this room is, you know, in progress, but exciting times. Let's keep going.
So we began to move all of the music studio equipment over, including the computer, mixer, speakers and microphone.
Hell yeah. Welcome home, desk. Yeah.
And not to mention obviously the cables, which there are so many of in a music studio, and to us it's really important to make sure that they're properly cable managed so that when people come into the studio it looks nice and clean. Of course, what's really important with music studios is the vibe, and we do this with a lot of different things, including lighting, posters and artwork. We also think it's really important to make sure that the room is acoustically treated so that our engineer Leo has the best sound reproduction for when he's mixing and mastering.
This is the current state of the music studio. Looking pretty good. We've got our booth with its curtain. So eventually these two lights up here will be gone. And then when this curtain's on, it creates a really awesome sort of starry look in the booth, which is really cool. Tonight is the night where we actually begin demolishing the booth.
Demolishing the booth was actually really fun, and it went down way quicker than we expected. The main thing for us was making sure that it went down in as few pieces as possible so that Leo could rebuild it in his home studio. Obviously when you demolish anything there comes a lot of mess, and this was no exception. With it being built out of plasterboard there was tons of dust everywhere, so we then spent the following couple of hours cleaning up and making sure that the place was ready to be painted. When we first planned the office renovation, we were saying that it'd be so nice if we had a bit more natural light in the room. And then it came to our attention when we were outside that there's actually a window hidden behind a wall. Because believe it or not, this office that we're in used to be a music venue. And there was a stage, a bar, and there were bands that would play here sort of every other day. So we got in touch with the landlord and we asked him, could we knock down this wall? And he said, well, it's been there for 20 to 25 years, but go ahead, make it neat, and try not to make too much mess.
Bloody hell, we got a window! Look at that.
So we gave it a go, and turns out there's a really good condition window behind that only needed a bit of paint, and now we've got more natural light in the office.
Oh look, this window opens as well.
After we cleaned up all the mess, there were a lot of holes in the wall, so obviously I had to start filling those in, sanding it down to get it ready for paint. And speaking of painting, we actually decided to make the door red, just to be a bit bold and obviously to be on brand with the Menace colours, because obviously Dennis the Menace, black and red, and my name's Dennis, so. Everything in the office got a fresh coat of paint, including the windows, the walls, which we actually used a nice grey on, which I'm a big fan of. And then finally, we have this steel beam that we painted black because it's so nice and bold, especially next to the red door.
Good evening, viewers. You're joining me on the 6th day of the big room renovations. So where we've just left off, as you would have seen from the time lapses, we've just painted basically everything with a red door, black steel beam thing. We touched up the sort of white, just one coat, just to make it all nice and fresh. And then we've got our nice new grey wall here, which looks super nice. So where we are now is the most exciting bit, at least for me, and that's moving around all of the kit. So I've kind of already started, and it is an absolute mess in here, because as you'll be able to see behind me, there's just stuff everywhere. Like, it's a complete mess. But hopefully, by the end of this evening, and it is about 11 o'clock at night, it will look somewhat okay, and then tomorrow, I can get all the desks in place finished, and then it's down to hanging things on the walls, including our big LED M logo and all the other cool bits and bobs. So I'll keep on time-lapsing and getting some B-roll and bring you guys along. Hope you enjoy.
It's really important to us that we invest in good equipment. So we've made it a goal of ours to make sure that all of our computers are up to date and powerful enough to handle the cinema quality footage that we get out of our cameras. Our cameras output massive file sizes, and we need a server and computers that can support that and run it smoothly. There's nothing worse than waiting for a really long render when if you had a good computer, it could be done like that. And it helps us with tight deadlines too. So at each desk we have some wicked computers along with colour accurate screens for colour grading. As well as that, we've got industry standard headphones and speakers so that each and every one of our edits gets a professional sound mix. Okay, so my camera has run out of storage space, so I'm going to call it a night there. We got that setup done with its speakers. I just need to put a couple more wires in and that's going to be fully functional. Cabinets wired in. The coffee area needs some love. So does the couch. This desk is great. The other desk is great. I think, all in, not a bad night. I mean, I did a whole second coat of that wall, second coat of the pillar, and a few little odd bits here and there of the paint, and moved some things around. And mate, we actually have floor space. I haven't seen this floor in about a week. Anyway, I'm gonna go home. Up next is decorating. So we have our lights on the wall, acoustic treatment, artwork, curtains up there, and just, I'm sure there's more, but I need to sleep. Moving on to the next day, we got to do probably my favourite part of the office build, which is putting up the M lights. These are just so cool with so many cool effects, and they're such a great talking piece when we invite people over. Just like the music studio, we decided to hang up some acoustic panels to reduce the echo in the room, and they look pretty cool. Continuing with the decorations, we put up our posters, our shelves, and then our memory board as well, just to make the place our own. As we shoot a lot of internal content like our Menace monthly series, we wanted to make sure that our office was photogenic from any angle and we could use it as a set. We put up a massive vinyl sticker that Ben, our motion graphics designer, created. And it just captures a bit of what we're about. It's got music on it, video editing, and video games. So it was just a perfect addition to the office, and it looks really cool. Once the vinyl was up, we rearranged some of the acoustic panels just to fill a bit of the white space.
Okay, after weeks of decorating and building furniture, I can finally say that the offices are done. And as you might notice behind me, we have another setup in the room now, which is awesome. We've got a new guy joining, which means we can expand our capacity and create even more awesome videos. Anyway, without further ado, I'm gonna let the offices do the talking for me, and I'm gonna show you around, and I hope you enjoy them. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Now I got a up price for y'all. Snake eyes on dice for y'all. Shoulders on ice for y'all.